You're listening to Season 6 of the Three Angry Giant Fans of the Jet Fan podcast, sponsored by Carolina Beer Temple. Join us weekly as we complain about our team's dismal performances, the shenanigans in the NFL, and other assorted nonsense. We also give our pet peeves and answer listener questions. Check us out on YouTube. Go to our website, angryfootballfans.com, and subscribe to our podcast wherever you get yours. We have a lot of fun doing this. We appreciate all the support. Go Jets and go Giants.
Will Dart try to do it himself? He'll give it to Scadaboo. Scadaboo, second effort. Does he get in? One official said short, the other one says touchdown. There it is. Yep. Replay does not lie. Gets it across before he stopped. Ball. Scadaboo. He is in. Touchdown. From the 25. Scadaboo. Look at him. 17.
When he gets going and he starts to play and this team starts to really be who they are, he's that kind of back that the more carry.
So that's a call or several calls of Cam Scadaboo runs. Scadaboo was a monster in this game. He had 3 touchdowns. The scat trick is what I heard it called. And the Giants got an impressive win. We will talk about the Giants game. We'll talk about the Jets debacle on Sunday morning. But we are the Three Angry Giant Fans and the Jet Fan podcast. Your host, Scott, Giant Mike, Cardone, and Jets fan Novak. And guys, it's Wednesday night. We were going to come on Monday. Technical difficulties. So, Cardone, what kind of technical difficulties do you think we ran into?
Well, some schmuck ran into a telephone pole outside my neighborhood on Monday morning and knocked the power out of my neighborhood. Hopefully it was no one that's listening and knows this person or whatever. So
clearly, an Eagles fan sabotaging the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. It must have been an Eagle fan. So, right on Carmel Road there, and the power was out all day. So, not trying to. I would have been in trouble trying to go in the dark there. So, appreciate you guys coming on a couple days later. It feels like the Giants played a month ago.
It does.
So, but I appreciate you guys being flexible for me and coming on.
We're giving Darren a pass, is what you're saying. So this is not on Darren.
It really was not on Darren. Whoever was, maybe Darren was driving the car into a pole. I don't know how 8 o'clock in the morning. I think about you're not. It's not 3 in the morning. Like how do you just slam it to a pole?
Doesn't want to go to work. Let's be honest.
Maybe.
Let's ask Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
Oh man, I just saw that. Just saw that.
So before we get into everything tonight, let's give a shout out. This is an international one. So hello, Slow UK. It's spelled like we would think sloth. S-L-O-U-G-H. It's a suburb of London, about 20 miles outside. Population 143,000, and it was named Slow, S-L-O, in 1195. So that's something you don't see in the United States, going all the way back to 1195. That was basically, no one lived here but animals and dinosaurs, I think, at that time. It's also the home of Jerry Hollowell, who is, which spice do you guys know?
That's Ginger Spice.
Ginger Spice. It's
yeah.
Ginger Spice, yeah. And for those that haven't watched it on Apple TV, there's a great show called Slow Horses, and it's actually spelled for the United States people S-L-O-W, but it is held in Slow, UK. That's where it's set.
So the pod, are we like the NFL now? Is this the start of our international series? I hope not.
I figured since the Jets stunk up the joint in London, we'd give Slow a shout out. They needed a breath of fresh air.
Someone on Slow was Googling what kind of losers talk about the Jets, and they found us somehow.
I feel like we have to start with the Jets tonight.
No,
No, Novak, come on, man. I mean, you've been holding this in for 3 days, brother.
I have. I was so much more angry and had so much more fervor on Monday.
Crap.
I don't want to take away from you guys because I'm the lonesome loser. Like I told Scott, like that's my theme song now. You guys have a future. You've got a hope. You've got happiness. You've got excitement. And I've got these fucking losers that I've got to watch. And last week I was apathy. You know who I am this week? You ever see the end of Scarface when Tony Montana is getting pelted? Give me more. Give me another one. Give me another one. That's me now. That's me. I'm just give more to me. Just hit me, because it doesn't end with these guys. And Sam Darnold's doing well. Aaron Rodgers in first place. Todd Bowles is a great quarterback. Everyone's laughing at the Jets again. Like, just hit me with another one. Just get me. I love it. I'm a loser. Give me more. That's what I want. I'm just tired of it.
And here come the Panthers.
And here come the Panthers. And honestly, dude, like the three words that I want to say is, where are you? Where are you, Mike Greenberg and Louis Riddick and Dan Orlovsky and Ryan Clark and Jeff Saturday, Damon Woody, Booger McFarland, Brandon Tierney, all these guys, Justin Fields, what a great pickup, the Jets. Get out of here. Where are you now? Where are you?
Yep.
Novak, how long did you spend researching that?
Do you think I did this all day? You're goddamn right I did. All
Did you
day.
order the code red?
All day.
I ordered the code red.
Novak
Scott,
ordered the code red.
I tried to set Scott up with that joke, and he flubbed it. But God damn it, this team. But honestly, I let's get to the Jets later, because you know what? I want to start. This podcast has been so downtrodden and angry and frustrated and apathetic and all of it, and I'm the only one there. Let's talk about Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo and the overhyped Giants. Let's do that.
Overhyped.
Love being overhyped.
I gotta tell you, that's what it feels like to me. I mean, I love the energy Dart and Scatterbo bring to the Giants, and I think it was Herb Street on the broadcast that said, look at what a quarterback does to a franchise. Look at the difference between these Giants and the Giants of past. And we'll go through the whole debacle of the blue tent, but that play that Dart's in the blue tent, Russell Wilson comes out and all four of us could have thrown a ball better than Russell Wilson did. It's almost like he didn't want to be there. I would have rather had Jameis Winston throw that ball. Jameis Winston was fired up on the sideline that game.
Yeah. In 2 plays, Russell Wilson sucked all the life out of that stadium. That was absolutely rocking. And just him out there is just like, just gone.
When Dart was on the turf, I don't know about your thoughts, guys. Like, my thoughts were like, how is this happening? How is this possible? We had a chance to win that game. I'm trying to remember exactly when it was when he went down. I feel like the game was a month ago since it was 6 nights ago. But yeah, you're right. Wilson came in, and you talk about the air going out of Met Death, which actually was Met Life. It had life for one freaking week, one night, especially prime time. We know all the records against the Eagles and prime time and all of that. My God, what a pretty amazing night. Amazing.
That sequence with Dart going down, like I'm literally watching every replay going, wait, is it his shoulder? Is it head?
Yeah.
Where's he hurt him? I've never dissected a replay that intently as that, and I still don't know really if he had a concussion symptoms. Was he just tired and laying on the turf for a while? Did he want to break? I have no idea. I don't think Dable knew either, because of course he went into the blue tent looking around.
Yeah, speaking of Dable, that's one thing that didn't change for me this week. I still think that Dart's just different. And that's exactly what you need in Dable's offense. Is you need someone who can run around, because his offense I don't think it's well schemed. And you need someone who can run around and make time for people. And, like I mentioned last week, Jones could never do that. He's a runner, not a scrambler. But, Dable's offense is so stationary and so just vanilla that you've really got to have somebody who can make a play behind center to move the ball. And I think that's very clear. And the other thing, speaking of the blue tent and everything, like Brian Dable, you're up by 10 against the Eagles in the second half with the ball at the 50-yard line, dude. You got to coach your fucking football team. What are you doing? Running into the tent and running around the sidelines like a madman? Get your shit together, dude.
That's how desperate. That's how desperate Daboll is, and
he knows
his emotional intelligence on the sidelines is absolutely childlike.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100% childlike.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I don't get either? You brought up the offense, Mike. There was a time in that game where we were running Scattaboo left, we were running Scattaboo right at people, pounding the Eagles. I think we were up 10, and we come out and we get a first down, and what do? We go to an empty back set. And on first down, I think we throw a little flare to the tight end. I think he gets like 6 yards. So now it's 2nd and 4. Perfect time to run Scattaboo. No, we stay in the empty set. I think we had 2 incompletions and we ended up going 3 and out that series. So you're pounding the Eagles. The Eagles defense looks like they don't want any part of tackling Scattaboo the rest of the game. And what do? We let our foot off the gas.
Yeah.
Like it didn't come back to bite us. I think that was the series right before the interception that Flott had. But still, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, I agree.
Look, I will tell you, I was so jealous of you guys. I really was. That whole game, I was like, the Giants are back. Like this is like the turning point for an organization. I was so jealous. But with all of that said, and all the props to Dart and Scattaboo and the Giants organization, I have to at least say this. That whole scene with Daboll is an embarrassment because what he says to his team, the opponent, future opponents, and the fans, I have no chance of coaching this team unless I've got some wonder kid out there like leading me.
Yeah.
So for all the platitudes I can give you, I am so jealous of praying that I could have what you have. That was an embarrassment. And I don't care what anybody says. That spoke volumes to me. And Daboll is still not the guy. I don't care.
No, I agree. I mean, this obviously when you watch the game, a lot of what Dart produces is on his own. It's not due to the design of the play. It's on his own. And, Scattaboo is the running back we've needed without this offensive line forever. I mean, we had fucking Saquon Barkley back there, but he somehow couldn't get free. We need a sledgehammer to just wear. I mean, Scott just said it. The Eagles wanted no part of playing defense in the fourth quarter of that game.
Nope.
They couldn't get on that bus and get out of that stadium fast enough. And man, how refreshing that is to see again. Just to take a team's will, just to take their heart and make them want to quit. I mean, we've seen us quit so many goddamn times. It was awesome. It was funny. I was watching the game with my wife and she said the words I've never heard her say while watching a Giants game with me. She said, "Well, this is fun." I was like, "Is it? I gotta wait till it's over to reassess that." But
yeah, I never relax. I mean, even it didn't hit me until finally, maybe the last whatever drive it was, with 4 or 5 minutes left. I'm like, holy shit, we're gonna win this fucking game. Like it took until then because I was still, very quiet throughout the game. We were in separate rooms in my house watching that game, so for obvious reasons, and I wasn't saying a word. Just staying quiet, and I tell you the play of the game, and I know it's been talked about to death this week and all that, but really the play of the game was the up by 3 early third quarter and Hurts missing Devontae Smith on that touchdown.
Yeah,
if the Eagles go up 24-20 there, I don't know what happens in that game. Think about it, guys.
Totally agree.
It's one incomplete pass, but that is how significant that play was. And it kind of got glossed over because of how the rest of the game went. But if Hurts hits that ball, if he hits that pass, I don't know if we're talking about the Giants being 2-4 and looking I don't know.
I mean, just look back to last week and how the Giants were dominating, controlling that game against the Saints until they hit the long pass.
Yep.
If Spencer Rattler misses that guy and throws it long, the Saints lose momentum. They punt. We have good field position. We're probably going down and taking control of that game at that point, but that changed everything. And conversely, this game, that miss, I think was a spark plug the Eagles needed, and they missed it.
Yeah.
And it was all Giants from then on.
Because we went on a touchdown drive after that, put us up by 10, and we never looked back the rest of the game. That was the play.
The amount of third down conversions you guys had, which you never see the Giants do,
no,
or at least not in the last 15 years, was staggering. I mean, it was like the Eagles showed no heart in that game. And you were the reverse of what you've experienced for the last how many years, where like You think you're dead to rights. They're going to get off the field. The Giants got a 3rd and 7, and Dart makes a play. I don't remember the specific plays because it was so long ago, but I just remember thinking, like, he got him again and again
But-
and again and again and again with not a lot of talent outside of Scatterboo and maybe Wandell Robinson. And the guy was making it happen. So impressive, this kid.
11 of 16.
Yeah,
That's
great point, Novak.
unbelievable.
Yeah. And conversely, Eagles were one for 9. Now they were 2 for 2 on 4th down, but that's like tush push and the other bullshit. But 1 for 9 versus 11 for 16. You're right, Novak. It's the other. We usually have it getting shoved down our throat the other way.
Yeah.
And it's amazing when you can get off the field. And when you sustain drives like that, it is demoralizing and devastating for the defense. We say it all the time. So the Eagles look, again, we've seen, I don't know what's going on over there. We can talk about the Eagles a little bit. I know, again, they're still 4-2, still, leading the division, but we know something's not right there. they don't look.
I did want to bring that up because if you remember 2 years ago, the Eagles had that slide after week 12 or so where they just looked off. And guys, it wasn't just the missed pass. I thought that Hurts looked off the entire game. I mean, if you looked at his body language, he had a couple times where he normally would break the pocket and go run for like 20 yards, and he would slide down after a 4-yard gain. He would run out of bounds. He would throw the ball away. He just didn't look like himself. And I don't know if there's something up with the Eagles. At the end of the game, they showed the sideline with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, and they both are like sitting there like they look like the Vikings in the 41-0 championship game on the sideline, like just dead. And then we heard before the game, and they set this up perfectly if the Eagles were to win, about the supposed meeting of Barkley, Brown, and Hurts in the parking lot or whatever. By the way, A.J. Brown now says they never had this conversation. Barkley, before the game, is talking about the conversation. So someone's not telling the truth there. I could see this whole thing exploding, especially with Sirianni being such a douche. I mean, guy, I can't take enough joy in watching this guy get his shit pushed in.
I mean, we all talked about it, was reflected in our predictions. I mean, if there's not anything wrong with the Eagles, if the Eagles are the Eagles, they beat us 62-11 in that game. What a perfect setup for a bounce back game for them. I mean, it was like the schedule makers saw this ahead of time and said, let's put the Giants right here. The Eagles are going to need a little bit of help. And damn if it didn't just continue. It was an amazing game. It was one of the more amazing games that I can't, everything we said here last week, nobody gave this team a sliver of a chance, and not just us, nobody. And they were right to do that. They were right to do so. So I can't, there's some things in football you can't explain. It very rarely is a good thing for the Giants when I say something like that, but this time it is. So, awesome. Like my wife said, it was fun.
And we had mentioned the statistic of being 9-10 years since a weekend where the Giants won and the Eagles and Cowboys both had lost. We didn't even throw the Redskins in there. So tack that on Monday night, and the Giants winning and 3 NFC East teams all losing. I don't even know when the last time that could have happened. Who knows what year it was? But what a miracle weekend for New York Giant fans. A miracle weekend.
I would add on top of that, my disdain for the city of Philadelphia, right? I can't stand all Philadelphia sports teams. That was the same night that the Phillies imploded on that bases loaded gaff at the end of the game. And I was so damn happy to watch the Eagles just go down in a ball of flames, as did the Phillies. I was a Giant fan for a night because I loved watching that. It was so great. So kudos to you guys and the Giants.
Can you guys hear me, or am I gone?
No, you're fine.
No, we
got you.
Oh, yeah, because my screen went completely blank, so I feel like I need Darren's help here or something.
No, we saw you the whole time.
You're all good.
Oh, good. Am I still on camera there?
You are.
All right. Cool. Guys, one thing I wanted to get into too was, it was brought up during the game. We were complaining about, because at that time, I think the Eagles were winning or it was very close, but the tush pushes, the 4 in a row where they supposedly are putting an emphasis on the tush push and cracking down on it in terms of not letting the Eagles start early, and all 4 of those times they started early. And I don't know. I think the groundswell is there now to get rid of the tush push, certainly in the off season. But what are your thoughts on that? I can't believe that we're talking about them moving early, and then they bring the official on, and he says, "Well, you could see some movement there, but that in real time, it's tough to call that." How? We could see it in real time.
I don't know why they let it slide, man. I just don't. I mean, what difference does it make what the formation is or whether it's goal line? If you're moving early, you're moving early. Call it.
True.
I just, yeah. Is it sort of, is it a split second sometimes? But that's, I mean, the official is right down the line. He has to be looking for that. Yeah, it's easy to, when you have a regular formation in the middle of the field and a tackle comes out of his stance, on a pass play or something. Absolutely. But so here's the case then for these officials. They need to be deadlocked in on that and be looking for it. Not to have a trigger finger with the flag, but they need to be on that. So at least neutralize this tush push to some degree. Be on top of those linemen moving early, because slow motion or not, yeah, of course you could see it in slow motion, but it's bullshit. You can see it in real time, because I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, God damn, it looks like these guys are moving early. Then when they show the replay, you're like, he is moving early. I'm not just seeing it. So they need to clean that up. The officials, they gotta do a better job. Just do a better job.
Yep. And there were several times in that game, not in tush push formations, that the Eagles guards were standing up early. And Cardone, you just said it best. I mean, Scott, who was the official in the booth for that
Terry
game?
McCauley.
He's an absolute shill for the NFL.
100% is.
He serves
every time,
no purpose. And to Cardone's point, when you see it live and you go, they moved early, and then you see the replay, and like he said, it's confirmed they move early, and then McCauley comes on and says, I know what that looks like in super slow-mo, guys, but that is simultaneous. No, it looked like that in real time too. Like it's unbelievable. And there's this big push to get it off the table, no pun intended. And I don't even think they have to. Now, unless they're telling us that we cannot officiate that play properly, unless they're saying we cannot tell that they're moving early. We concede that they are, but we can't tell. Now, to me, that's a reason to get rid of it altogether. But I don't care if they leave it in or get rid of it or whatever, if they just officiate it properly. If they can officiate it properly, leave it in there. Because you guys know, I get mad about it when I see it and I say I want it banned. And when I sit back and think about it more, I'm like, God, if that was a Giants doing that shit, I wouldn't want anyone touching that with a 10-foot pole. So
I feel the same way.
But it's got to be officiated properly.
But how much of its success is predicated on the fact that they basically cheat every time?
I think a lot of it.
So I mean, we marvel at how good they're doing with it, but half of the reason is because they're firing off. I mean, they're getting a half a second head start every time they do it, so that gives them momentum to move forward.
Yeah,
and then the other thing is, I don't know if you guys noticed this, they let that play go forever until like basically it seems like there's no more movement.
Yes, they did.
Scatabo down at the goal line. Remember they blew the whistle really quickly and tried to take the touchdown away until they did the replay and show that he was in.
Yeah.
Oh, the one Dart was high-fiving the official. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, the whistle couldn't have happened fast enough on that one.
Yeah, it's a good point, Scott. It really is. If you watch a tush push, and how long when there's no momentum, the refs just keep that play live. When there's absolutely no forward momentum, and then as people start to fall down, it's up, touchdown. It's.
I don't know where I stand on a tush push. I really don't. Like sometimes, I want it. Sometimes it pisses me off, and I want it like just banned and gone from the league. But other times, and then there's a whole side of me like, well, shit. Like I'm always a believer of like stop them. Just like somebody figure out how to stop it. And they won't be doing it anymore. Like and give credit to the Eagles. Like they have figured out they do it better than anybody. They do it better. Nobody even comes close to as good as this team is with it. And credit to them. They've mastered this play. It works. And it's up to the league to do something about it, or it's up to the other 31 other teams to fucking stop it.
Exactly.
I
think I lean more in that direction. Like, don't let them get to 3rd and inches. Like, stop them. Yeah. I mean, we're talking about a play that is 1 yard, And like, there's so much discussion and controversy over it. Don't let them get to that point. Like, and it's not a problem.
Or these other teams, it's a copycat league. Then get as good as they are at this somehow.
Exactly. Yes.
Then figure it out.
100%.
Figure out how to join the party or figure out how to stop it. You can't.
Yes,
You got to do one or the other.
On that. That's the way I feel too.
I will 100% say though that it's nearly impossible to stop because they're allowed to jump. Like if they ran that play legally, you would have a much better success rate against it. That's my opinion. And also, I mean, Jalen Hurts is the perfect quarterback to run that play. He is, from the waist down, he is built like an ox. And he could just easily move that pile. And Kelsey mastered it, and then the new guy who's come in, whatever his name is, they just got it. And I know this for a fact. I know that there is a key from the center on that play to the guards that I am half a second away from snapping this ball. So go ahead and move. There is something that is said or done because you can't time a football snap and movement that well. You can't. It's uncanny. And I have more to say about that on my pet peeve this evening, but it's not about the play or banning the play or anything like that. It's about a little preview of my pet peeve. It's about how announcers characterize that play. So I don't think we're anywhere near stepping on that here.
So I am in the process of rebooting my computer, so you get me my janky look here. But one other thing I want to talk about from a ref standpoint is the taunting penalty that Scadaboo got, because I'll bring this up later with the chief and just taunting around the league. Scadaboo gets hit pretty hard. He trucks a guy going out of bounds. He gives a woo in the guy's direction, goes back to the huddle, and the flag comes out. He never really says anything to the guy, never does anything intentional, and yet the flag comes out. I don't understand where these taunting penalties are coming from.
It's too subjective, all of it. Unless, again, we don't know what he said. We can only speculate maybe or assume that he might have. Did it come with a verbal taunt as well? Is that, I don't even know is that part of the personal foul? I'm assuming it is, right? You tell a guy to fuck off. Is that part of the? But to your point, Scott, I don't know, man. That one, I didn't think it was that egregious. We've seen plenty. That is way too subjective, that call. And again, it didn't cost us because of the circumstance at the time. I think we had the game in hand by then. But yeah, those penalties, you see it way too often where you leave it in the officials' hands, and it's just too subjective in what they deem as a personal foul. They hand out 15-yard penalties like it's just Skittles, like Marshawn Lynch. It's not that easy to get 15 yards all the time, and they just hand out penalties, like it's nothing.
No, that's another thing they got to fix in this league is that. And according to Scadaboo, of course, he's going to tell his side of the story. He said first down to the guy. That's what he said. He said as he ran by. You see other games. Who was it? Was it the good receiver from the Bengals there who ran into the end zone backwards, like from the 6-yard line in a couple? And isn't that taunting in and of itself? And then I'm not clear on the rules. Like, are they allowed to taunt after they score? Because it seems like after they score, there's a whole hell of a lot of uncalled taunting going on in the league. So. I don't know what it is. I've seen players get up off a pile and just sort of hover for a half a second over the guy that tackled them or over the guy they tackled and get flagged. And I've seen guys clearly go nose to nose and yell at somebody and not get flagged. So subjective, stupid. I don't think I've come full circle on this. I do not think that that a team should get penalized for a knucklehead player. I think taunting and anything like that should be a warning. And if you get 2, you're thrown out of the game, and that's it. It's not a yardage. It's not anything like that. If you get 2, you're thrown out of the game. And then there are hefty fines for them.
Yeah. Agreed.
For each one.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Don't make, because I used to say, you can't have these guys on your team that are going to hurt your team. These knuckleheads that are going to hurt your team. but they're everywhere now. Every team has 40 of them. You can't stop it. So you've got to find another way that, these coaches and these other players put in so much hard work and effort to get their teams to this point, and you've got one knucklehead on your team that's going to cost you games.
Yep.
I mean,
and one thing lost in the discussion that we've had about, Dart and Scadaboo bringing a lot of energy to this team is that the defense played well. They have to clean up these miscommunications in the secondary, because this is the second week in a row that they had quite a few of blown coverages. But Burns, Thibodeau, and Flott all looked really good in this game, and they all had game-changing plays. Thibodeau does not get enough credit for his run defense. He was stout against Barkley in this game.
Agreed. Yeah.
Burns is a stud.
Burns is having a career year right now. He really is.
God,
I feel like he's every play he's disrupting something. It seems like he's just having a career year. He's bringing it on every play. To your point, Scott, the read and that the break on that ball by Flott. I mean, again, that's only a 10-point game when Flott makes that interception, and Eagles are in the red zone there, or pretty damn close to it. That was obviously a game-changing play, and one that I feel like we haven't had in so long. That type of pick down on the sideline there, which that was amazing. The defense did. Like you said, Scott, there's a couple blown coverages here and there. We mentioned the one about Smith being missed. Hurts missing Smith on that long, what would have been a touchdown. We've had a couple of those, but all in all, the defense is keeping us. They're getting off the field more than they have in certainly in years past, and they're doing enough. And the special teams is doing enough as well. So. It's only, we have 2 wins in the last 3 games. So with the freaking Saint debacle smashed in there. So I know we'll get the predictions, later. But right now, man, feel great. This is the best I've felt in a regular season week in I don't know how many years, guys. Since the playoff year of 22, Dable's first year. Best I've felt in 3 years.
Yeah. As should you.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. And jealous as can be. But I will say one thing. The Dart and Scadaboo thing, calm it down a little bit.
I couldn't stand it.
Enough is enough. I get it. They're fun and they're, wild and they're wooing and ripping shirts off and everything else. That's all good when you win. But just let's not put these guys out there like they're saviors just yet. The Giants and we're starving in New York, and Giant fans in particular to get back to what you were. And I love the fact that Scadaboo reminds me of Bavaro and Shockey and all these other guys, but just be careful, because too much of this is too much of this. I don't know, just temper the enthusiasm down just a little bit.
The post-game nonsense with Ryan Fitzpatrick on the stage and all that, it was embarrassing. And I found myself just sitting there watching it okay, America, I hope you've gone to bed. I don't. This is awful. Ripping shirts off and chest bumping with Fitzpatrick, who just before the game, by the way, criticized everything about both of those players. Give me a break on that. They should have flipped him the bird and walked off the stage. That would have been, I hated it.
Isn't it more of an indictment on Fitzpatrick, though? What are you doing?
It is. Stop
Obviously.
It.
Yeah. Scadaboo is just a lunatic rookie who's 20, I don't know how old he is, 22, 23 years old or whatever, having won on a prime. Fitzpatrick, what are you doing, you jack off?
Yeah. Well, be a professional. Just stop.
I played the Broncos this weekend. They are licking their chops. That whole thing that they were doing, you're telling me that these Broncos defenders don't want to rip the head off of Scadaboo?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
They do.
Absolutely.
You're putting a target on your back with that kind of act.
Yep.
Always.
You really are. I'm not saying he's not great. I love it. I think it's great. But just temper it a little bit.
Yeah. And it doesn't look like Dable is. And, that's another problem I have. And it probably could have been a pet peeve. But Dable's he gives the batty eyes to Jackson Dart.
He really does.
He looks like he's in love with him. It's really kind of creepy and weird. And it's He goes up, other players are coming off the field and, Dable will pat him on the helmet or whatever. And then he sees Dart and he like holds his arms open, like, oh, bring it in, bring it in. The whole thing is too much. The whole thing is too much. Now that we've got the talent, now I need the professionalism to follow. And yes, it was one game, but it's a red flag right now. That's a red flag.
Well, and you brought it up about Fitzpatrick before the game. He mentioned that Jackson Dart has terrible footwork and he has no vision. And then by the middle of the game, by halftime, he was praising Dart, and by the end of the game, he's ripping his shirt off for Scadaboo. So it's these pregame shows are just it's more nonsense. I heard that on Sunday night as well. So we may get to that in a little bit. But
I mean, how long has it been? Sorry, Scott, I want to get one more thing in there. How long has it been since we watched a primetime game and then stayed up because we wanted to see the interviews and
exactly.
stuff? Like every primetime game we've watched for a decade, as soon as the clock hits 0, we go fuck and hit the remote control button and go to bed.
and this one we have to be subject to the embarrassing part.
Yeah.
So, Novak touched upon it in the opening, but that Jets Denver game. I mean, guys, Justin Fields 9 of 17 for 45 yards. You have to go back some time to find a starting quarterback start and finish a game and not get pulled inexplicably to finish with 45 yards and look as bad as he did. The Jets, bungled the end of the first half. They didn't try a 61-yard field goal at the end of the game that could have possibly won it. We see kickers banging them in from 65 with regularity lately. Yeah. That was bad. I mean, you're playing in London as it is, but just Novak, I feel for you, especially after the way the Giants looked on Thursday. I was hoping for the Jets, especially on that last drive. They got the ball like right at the 35, 38-yard line. I'm like, okay, Jets could get something going here. Maybe they're going to win on a last-second field goal. We're all going to be rejoicing here on the pod.
I mean, look, we started the game off with our first turnover of the season and like a 70-yard return, which resulted in 6 points. 2 field goals. This team is like I've watched how many games in the last 54 years of my life. It was the worst coached game of my lifetime. That's saying something right there.
Wow.
And you know why I say that is because the adage, the last 2 minutes before the end of the half and end of the game is coaching. It's all coaching. Everyone says it, everyone knows it, that's what it is. And if you watch the end of the first half, it says all you need to know. They run a fake punt, which by the way, no one noticed this, but the fake punt, which was great. I'm glad they got it, all of that. They send out their starting offensive line, and Breece Hall is the back man, who has never been on special teams in his life. Why don't you just say to the other team, we're going to run a fake punt right here. Now, he got a yard. Great. That's good. Okay, fine. We've done it. And now you're just basically going to run the ball up the gut for 2 plays and then sit on it. Like 27 seconds, 26, 25. And I'm screaming at the TV, what are you doing? Do something, do something. And I thought at least with the last second, they would just throw a Hail Mary. At least I could say, okay, they tried something. They were on the 48-yard line. Are you out of your minds? Like, I've never seen anything like it in my life. No. The commentators are mocking us. I'm mocking them. I'm screaming. I'm in a rant like you wouldn't believe. My poor daughter who's home for college break is like upset because I'm like screaming F-bombs left and right. And then at the end of the game, we have negative 10 yards of passing, negative 10. And it's 4th and 8. And your choice is that a better chance is Justin Fields getting 9 yards versus a 62-yard field goal. Are you out of your mind? The 62-yard field goal was probably a 15% chance to make. Justin Fields is a negative 15% chance to make 8 yards.
Nick Folk can bang it, man. He's
and here's the other thing that bothered me. In the post-game press conference, they asked Glenn, they're like, well, we needed to get to the 35-yard line. That constitutes a 52-yarder, dumbass. And he's already made a 58 this year. So what are you talking about? He didn't even know where
Doesn't
they
even
were.
know what he's talking about.
He has no idea what he's talking about. He's lost. He's clueless. This team is a disaster. Garrett Wilson wants out. Everybody wants out. I've had so many bad situations, and I can't believe that I'm here again. I mean, I thought after the Cowboy game I hit rock bottom. I'm not. It's worse. I got apathy, and now I'm just angry again. Now I just hate everyone. I just want to lose. Like I said, Tony Montana, just give me another one. Hit me again. Just get me more.
Yeah.
More losses. I just want it. Give it to me. I don't care.
My favorite stat of the game, Novak, was Denver had as many sacks as Fields had completions.
That's correct.
9.
That is correct, Cardone.
Yeah.
God.
More yards sacked than passing yards. Hence the -10 passing yards. Just wild stuff from Justin Fields that we have said it we've said it for 5. He's in his 5th year now. Have we seen enough? Have we seen enough? I'm talking about just in I'm talking about the NFL landscape, the media, fans, fantasy football, everybody. Have we seen enough from Justin Fields to say no more? Like no more.
No.
Like the guy
Think about it. -10 yards, dude. All 4 of us could take a snap and hand the ball off or kneel down on a pass play, and we would have had more passing yards than Justin Fields.
We did have more passing yards than Justin Fields.
We did 0.
We all did. All 4 of us. We had 0. He had -10.
The irony here is that if Mike was correct and Justin Fields was out of the league by the end of year 3, then the NFL and everyone else would have been saved all this embarrassment over the last year and a half, 2 years.
So many people have staked a reputation on this guy, and he's not there. I mean, the Jets, I mean, I know the game was close, so maybe this stat isn't as silly as I think it is. But the Jets had no turnovers, and they were only penalized twice for a total of 15 yards.
They did well in the penalties for the first time.
Everything it wasn't like they turned the ball over a bunch to get there. It wasn't like, they had a bunch of penalties and were sloppy. They were sloppy, but not penalty-wise. But it just, 2 of 15 on first down, I see. But the big one is it's not just Fields' completely pathetic day that should, he should be out of the NFL right now with that performance. Anybody, you guys could go find Mike Glennon and the guys that we had rolling through here that would do better than that, honestly. And he's not contributing as much with his legs either. 82 total yards as a team. Broncos are a really good defense, but Fields is, if you have any other quarterback, literally on any roster, including your own, you probably win that game.
No doubt. No doubt. The worst quarterback performance in the NFL statistically since 1982. Think about that.
Yeah.
And the worst quarterback performance in Jets history. And you think of the losers that I've trotted out there for the last 54 years.
In terms of what? Just QBR or whatever, Novak?
QBR, negative passing yards, the whole thing.
Just the yards, the whole thing.
Even the completions that he had, he never hit him in the numbers, ever.
What was the longest one? Like, what was the longest play of the day?
7 yards.
No, it wasn't. 7?
Yes.
Well, it has to be.
Yards.
They only had fucking -10 yards. So, yes.
And on the next to last play, I think Garrett Wilson got hurt and may miss this game.
Yeah, this game. He's going to miss 4.
Oh, is
something. I read between 3 and 5 weeks. He's going to be out. And he wants out of here. You saw it. He was like, "What the hell was I doing signing a contract with these losers? Get me out of here!" And they just
after the safety. Which, by the way, Rich Eisen had a funny comment. If you heard that one during Rich Eisen, I like that guy.
I do.
So it was holding, right? I don't know which lineman it was for Denver that was holding in the end zone. So there were 2 penalties on the play. One was declined, and then there was a holding call, which results in a safety. And Eisen says something like, "I'm sure the London crowd here knows what's going on after that play." 'Cause they're probably like, "How
they need the
did
rules.
The Jets just get 2 points? They didn't have the ball. There was a flag. All of a sudden, Denver's now punting." So Eisen, it was funny. Like he said, he goes, "And I'm sure the London crowd here knows exactly what just happened there."
They're on top of that. That's a good point. The Jets didn't even have the ball. There's a flag,
but there wasn't.
All of a sudden, the Jets get 2 points.
It was a holding call too. It wasn't
and
like
the other team's punting.
Yeah, he wasn't tackled in the end zone. They may have seen that before. But like, wait a minute, the guy got tackled in the area where there's paint color on the field. That's not part of the field.
2 points. What?
No, I have no idea what that QB performance was in 1982 that was worse, but I guarantee you it was probably either an outdoor game in a monsoon or an outdoor game in a snowstorm that was in Buffalo, Green Bay, Chicago, one of those places.
Yeah. And it might have been one of those games where you got 2 quarterbacks hurt and had to play your kicker, in the think that would happen sometime in the 80s. So.
Wasn't there a game a few years ago where Belichick just ran the ball the entire game except for like three
he threw
plays?
3 passes. Yeah.
And I think they had better stats and Fields in those 3 passes.
They were at positive yardage. We have -10. I mean, what?
So Novak, this is a serious question because I don't know. We're sticking with Fields now. Like he's the starter going into next week. That's
apparently they asked Aaron Glenn the question at the press conference after, and he goes, "Come on, man, you can't. What stupid kind of question is that?" It's a very legitimate question, you dick.
Yeah.
He's just -10 yards. What? How is that not a legitimate question?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I can't.
Have you not watched the game? He didn't even give the "I got to watch the tape" comment. He had to say,
I did see that.
Stupid question.
And then he has the nerve to say, like, come on, you know better than that. Who does? Like, what?
I would ask the same damn thing. I mean, I was on my jet boards at halftime going, if he comes out with Justin Fields, they don't want to win. He's given up on this team. And sure enough, that idiot runs out there, number 7. And I'm just kill me at this point with these guys.
Are those the same jet boards that said you didn't know football when you said Fields was a terrible quarterback in the preseason?
Scott, I was calling these guys out on Sunday. I was like, where are you, all you guys? We've got another dimension. We've got, and the guy that told me, sounds like someone who doesn't know about football. Fuck off. Like, obviously I knew what I'm talking about. He sucks.
Yeah, I just have some amazing Justin Fields numbers here for you guys. So he has no interceptions this year.
I saw that. Yep.
His QBR for the year is 36.5. That's for the season up to now. That's not like one bad game. That is the season up till now. And Aaron Glenn laughs off a question about whether he's a starter next week or not. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Hear about this? How about this stat? Next year, we owe Justin Fields and Aaron Rodgers $40 million in our cap.
Oh my God.
How about that?
This is it for Justin Fields. This has to be it. He will not be on another roster.
This is his last stop, right? This is his last stop.
It's going to end now.
It's got to end now. He'll be a tight end or a scat or a halfback or some shit. Fullback. I don't know. Whatever the hell he is.
So, how do you even get a QBR that low if you haven't thrown an interception? It doesn't make any sense.
Because he overthrows the defenders.
Overthrows the defenders. What a great line.
So guys, looking around the NFL this week, we had a lot of interesting things happen. Daniel Jones and the Colts kept rolling, just steamrolling in that game. Panthers, Cowboys. So all of the NFC East teams except the Giants lost. And that Panther-Cowboy game was interesting because Rico Dowdell just manhandled the Cowboys. And then the Panthers won on a last-second field goal. Cowboys are they may be the worst defensive team I've seen in several years.
Yeah, that's a bad defense.
They're not good.
And then
it almost looks like they have like 9 guys out there. Like they're missing a couple defenders. There's so much room
they're always
in
wide
the secondary. They're always out of position. There's always it's really up front and in the back. There's the back end. They are deplorable. That right there. I don't care what their offense is going to do. I heard one of the jack-off media guys talking about Dak Prescott this week and this and that, and it's not his fault and this and that. I'm like, but what does it matter?
Doesn't matter.
No, because again, we have the propensity to talk so much about the offense that have you looked at this Dallas Cowboy defense? Where are they going this year? Nowhere. Yep. They're not going to be in the mix. They're not with that defense.
They can't with it. And if they do, they're a 1-and-out playoff team. When defenses clamp down, they're not going to be in the mix. It's hard to imagine.
Pisses me off more that we lost that freaking game to them. Just
Dallas and the Saints games. Oh my God, guys! Just give us a rerun on those, and we're back. We're back in this thing.
Well, Cardone's got to love this. The Cowboys are half a game ahead of us.
The half game. The half game, Cardone.
With the NFL tie that's sitting there.
We took the Cowboys to a shootout, so we.
Yeah.
So the Ravens got rolled again this week. The Ravens are now 1-5, and Lamar's still out right now. The Steelers guys are steamrolling this division. You realize that the Bengals are still in second place?
Yeah.
The
Aaron
Bengals, who have
Yeah.
been non-competitive in their last 4 games or whatever, are in second place.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers is killing it. That fucking guy is on fire. Of course he is.
It's amazing. Some of these teams are like the Steelers. I went around the same thing, Scott. I was just looking at the standings. You know, I hadn't paid attention to the standings in like a week or two or whatever, and just finding myself saying the same thing as in years past. Like, you know, you look at like you just mentioned the Steelers. Somehow, again, we've talked about, you know, Pittsburgh fans wanting to drive Tomlin out of the city. They're sitting there at 4-1. That never stops, guys. And I know Novak's going to love this one. The fucking New England Patriots would make the playoffs right now if the season ended. I love that one. If the season ended today, you know, but the New England would be in the playoffs. It's upside down right now. The Ravens are probably cooked. Are they not? 1-5. How are you coming back from that?
Have you guys looked at the AFC though? The AFC is all top-heavy teams, and then a bunch that are in the middle or bottom. There's nothing. There's no mediocrity. You either are great or you suck, basically.
Yeah, but at the same time, you know what's happening, guys. You know it, and you see it, and you can feel it. The Bills are the team. The Rams are the team. The Eagles are the team. Who's lurking in the background, just letting all this play out so they can go on their 10-win run and get to the Super Bowl again? We know it. It's happening. It's coming.
Yeah, it is. I mean, this
the Kansas
weekend,
City Chiefs. It's Chiefs.
This week,
happening.
Everyone's talking about the Chiefs being back on track. They're getting Rashee Rice back. If you watch that game on Sunday night, for God's sake, you know, they just talk about the Chiefs rolling as if this is an unstoppable machine. That team is aided a lot by the officiating. There were no penalties called on that team.
Yeah.
And I'll get into this in just a second. But this was also the second game in a row where the Chiefs have argued a call and actually gotten it reversed. If you remember, there was the Kelsey one last week where it was pass interference. We talked about it on the podcast. They argued it. The refs turned it over. This one was that Goff touchdown. So the most interesting thing about the Goff touchdown is the Lions score. They are getting ready to kick the extra point, and all of a sudden the officials throw a flag. Now in the post game. It was an illegal shift penalty, which is not reviewable, by the way.
Of course.
The referee said that they had discussions amongst themselves and decided that Goff had not gotten set as a quarterback after going under center or whatever the rule was. However, are you telling me that New York did not buzz down and say something? That's complete horseshit. The refs got together after Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes were in their ear for the past minute and a half. It took over a minute from the time Goff scored to the time they threw the flag and called the penalty. What the fuck was going on for that minute? You didn't see refs huddling.
No. They were about to kick the extra point. The refs were all in position. They weren't having a conversation about the last play. That's a gaslighting. I'm going to say it again.
It is gaslighting. There's a study done by UTEP that said that the Chiefs had favorable calls since 2018, which is basically when they've started the run, and they went through and broke this down. Here's the one statistic I saw, because we just mentioned the Chiefs had no penalties called against them in that game. None. Since 2000, there have been 40 games that had a team with no penalties. Since 2018, there have been 7 games. 4 of those are by the Chiefs.
Yeah, of course.
No shit.
No penalties.
We all know it. We all know
it. And by the way, there was a catch made by Kelsey where the ball was clearly on the ground.
He picked it up off the ground.
And they went to our friend again, Terry McCauley, in the booth, and Terry McCauley goes, "Oh, that would have been called a catch, no doubt."
Yeah.
Get out of here.
He's garbage. So what is the one thing, if you go around, you talk to other NFL fans, we've talked about it multiple times on this pod, about this season. We can't get a run of consecutive plays without a goddamn flag this season. No. They're on kickoffs. They're on first down. They're on third down. They're all over the place. Like, it's raining flags. It's been the story of the season to me. To me, the amount of flags has been one of the big stories of the 6 weeks of the season. And somehow the Kansas City Chiefs just played a game without committing a single one.
It's not possible in the NFL.
A team that consistently lines offensive linemen up in the backfield. They didn't get a single call on that?
Consistently presses the rule book. They always do with their formations and how far back their tackles are, and they openly admit to running pick plays, but they say they do it within the rules, which Novak and I spotted last week. They do not do it within the rules. But so a team that consistently is on the fringe of the rule book has a no penalty game. It's complete horseshit.
It just is.
Unbelievable.
They don't hold anybody.
No penalties.
Illegal contact. They don't, nothing. They don't do
Not
anything.
a holding anywhere.
Not even a block in the back on a kickoff. Nothing. Zero.
Right.
Did you guys see anything else from around the league?
Penalties.
Yeah.
In every other game. I'll speak again. I'm going to talk about him every week. Daniel Jones, man.
Oh,
Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
I
Just
don't even have to say anything about his stat line. I'm just going to say his name. Daniel Jones.
quiet assassin.
Yep. And listen, I'm super glad with the way things have worked out because I know it wasn't going to work out here. But I couldn't be happier for an ex-Giant. I'm way happier for Daniel. Daniel Jones went to the AFC. He's so far, Houston or he's so far away from us, Indianapolis. It doesn't matter, and he's fucking tearing it up. And I love because we have so many idiot fans for the Giants, and they you can't find one now. You can't find one on Twitter or anything who will say that they thought Jones sucked. It's always been Dable. All right, whatever.
Overlooked in that Colts game, by the way, is that Daniel Jones now has no competition because Anthony Richardson fractured his orbital bone using a resistance band at the pregame. The Colts had 2 players ruled out of the game before the game even started due to pregame injuries.
That's like Graham Gano.
It's funny that people were, when he went to Indianapolis, there were people who criticized him. Like, he doesn't want to win. He just wants to go somewhere where life is easy. And, he'd have to compete for a job in Minnesota and all this and that. And, how easy it was to beat out Richardson. And he knew he could beat out Richardson. And the Vikings have J.J. McCarthy, they're committed to. And it's like, he knew exactly what he was doing, man. Not that I don't think if you asked him, he would have said, "No, we're going to be 5-1 and just rolling." I don't mean that. I just mean he knew he was coming to a good situation.
I tell you one thing around the league, a guy who's moving up my "I really don't like you" meter and moving that needle is Daniels on Washington. Jane Daniels.
Yeah.
He's got a constant smirk on his face. Where like he had a number of turnovers on Monday night. I stayed up to watch the end of that game on Monday night, hoping the Bears would pull that out, and thank goodness they did. But if you guys remember on the last drive, he threw the bad interception. You're going to throw interceptions, that's fine. He took ownership of that. But that fumble at the end of the game there, can't have that. He's got that constant smirk on his face, sort of like almost like you guys know what I'm talking about. Like we're
100%.
just yeah.
Like he doesn't really care that much.
Yeah, I don't know. He on the sidelines in between drives. It looks like he's just a little bit aloof, whatever. And I'm not taking the guy. The guy's talented as hell. We know the guy's really good. The reason I'm saying that is because he's good. If he sucked, I wouldn't care about him. But the guy's good. And now he's got, the Washington is relevant. They were in the championship game last year. I'm trying to keep pump the brakes on this team as well. So Daniels, he's another guy that's quickly moved up my list of like, you know what, man, I'm not ready to put you in that group of elite quarterbacks either, man. One great year, rookie year, you had that, but right now, dude. You're moving up my meter, and you don't want to be on that meter. I'll tell you that. Not on this podcast.
Not here, buddy.
Not here.
I think he was smirking because he was in the midst of being in the presence of Ben Johnson's genius.
The glow.
But that fumble was on him at the end of the game, and it cost them the game.
Somehow Ben Johnson got credit for that win, by the way.
I liked the one I liked was it was a harmless first half. Not harmless, but the first interception Jaden Daniels threw, which was there was no Redskin or Commander or whatever in the area. He threw it directly into the chest of the defender. No pressure on him, by the way. Big, huge pocket. And the camera goes to him after it. He's like, my bad.
Yeah.
No shit, dude. Whose fault could that possibly be? That's on me. I'll take that one.
So Instead of doing previews of our games, why don't we do predictions and we'll give our each preview as we're doing our games.
Oh, a
Like
preview during the prediction. Love it.
Preview
I,
during the prediction.
I feel like I need some theme music for the predictions now. Like Jeopardy.
Have you heard about the Lonesome Loser?
That would be a
Lonesome
perfect
Loser.
when I go
lead
to
in
pick,
to the
you
prediction.
got to play that when I go to pick.
Because we had a lot of
Every
losers this
time.
week, didn't we? Let's see. So the Giants and Jets games were all chalk. We all picked the. Hang on, I'm looking at the wrong one. We
You did
all
not
picked.
pick no one picked the Giants or the Jets.
No one picked the Giants or the Jets. So we
So
all went 1 and
lost.
1.
1 and 1
Yep.
there.
We all went 1 and 1. And then Mike took the Eagles for his
all right.
for his pick. So I have been knocked off my perch, replaced by Cardone. Cardone picked the Packers, got a win. Koss picked the Steelers, got a win, and Novak picked the Broncos and got a win.
Right.
I'm sure he wasn't thinking about spoiling his pick when the game was close at the end. He would have taken the Jets win in that game. And
Yes.
So our new records coming out of last week are Cardone has moved into first place at 19-5.
Whoa, that is good.
Myself and Scotty Cost are tied at 17-7. And Novak is 1 game behind us at 16-8. So our leader out of the gate tonight will be Mr. Cardone.
I guess I'm up first then.
Yeah.
All right. So am I just doing predictions, Scott, or just a score prediction or a preview? What are we doing?
I would give your background on the game, your version of a preview of both games. Give the score and then give your lock.
All right. I'll start with I'll just take these in how they're chronological order on Sunday. So I'll start with the Jets, and for reasons we just said, until Justin Fields is not on the field anymore, I can't possibly predict this a win for this team. So 0-6, they're probably, I started thinking about Novak's, prediction of maybe this team could possibly go 0-17. I mean, now we're obviously several months away from that, but just for the sheer fact that I can't see this team that as bad as they played, what are they going to fix this week? Carolina's coming off a big win against Dallas at home. This game is at MetDeath, which doesn't make a difference, I don't think, for where this game is played. So Carolina's defense is pretty good. I think this will be a low-scoring game in the teens. I've got Carolina winning 19-13. So I got Carolina winning on the road. That puts them at 4-3, actually. Somehow the Panthers are 3-3, looking to go 4-3 against a Jet team. But, I mean, why not? This 2025 season right now is as unpredictable as whatever you want to, as you name it. So until Justin Fields is not, QB1, how do you predict that team? And then,
Yep.
And then our Giants at which is a 4:00 start out in Denver. This is another one of those. I think the Giants, I got to pump the brakes on them. As much as I want to pick the Giants, this is one of those games where, as good as we're feeling, as I'm feeling right now, and we all are, and I'm going to take just a cue from what Novak said just a few minutes earlier. Like, everyone, calm down, everyone. This is not like it's. I'm seeing predictions now. The Giants are going to win the division. It's the NFC East is there for the taking. This is still the Giants. You got to show me some more than just a one game. We'll live with this game against the Eagles for another week or at least or another few days. But you're going into a tough place to play, in I still call it Mile High Stadium, Denver. I think that defense is really good. I think Denver's defense is really good. I think it's even better than the Eagles. I think the Giants will struggle to score, and it's going to be a close one. I think it will be a kind of a lower scoring game. Give me Denver 20-17.
I'm always amazed, Cardone, at how our scores always seem like
Very
they're
similar.
very close. Yeah.
Yeah.
I already have mine written in here.
Wait till you hear mine for that game too.
So another week for me where I've got both of us losing. Jets and Giants both losing. So
who is
and then my
your
lock.
I
haven't taken Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs over the Raiders. I haven't taken the Chiefs yet.
I will go next. I'll start with the Jets as Cardone did, and the reason I asked Novak if we were sticking with Fields this week was because I have a score And I just didn't know which team was going to be on which side of the score because as much as, I don't think the Jets are going over. So this is at home. The Panthers are up, down, and we know their history, and we know that every time the Panthers start getting on something and the fans get excited, when really this is a bit of a pumped up record because of their competition. I mean, we kind of know that. So for that reason, I was kind of leaning Jets. But then, I mean, just Cardone just made the best. How can I pick a team that's going to start Justin Fields at quarterback? I can't do it. I can't do it. So that is my whole breakdown of the game. I think Carolina's a little full of themselves. I think this game is going to be close, very close the whole way, super low scoring, just like Cardone. But because of Justin Fields, I'm going to pick Carolina to win it 16-15.
Gross.
Yep. And then kind of the same thing, really, in my analysis of Denver and the Giants is that I think this is the way this season's going to go, guys. I think we're going to have highs and we're going to have lows. And a lot of times they're going to be right back to back. I mean, we've already been, Chargers, Saints, Eagles, Broncos. I think we're going to have one of those kind of years as we kind of Dart gets acclimated to the NFL. So I agree with Cardone's assessment that it's going to be the Giants are going to have trouble finding points, but I think their defense, Bo Nix is a little overhyped. I think the Giants defense is going to give him some problems, much like the Jets did this past week. So I do have Denver winning the game, similar score to Cardone's 23-20. And then I also have KC because my whole thing reset by losing this week. So I'm going to jump on KC over the Raiders. Mr. Cost.
So I'll start with the Giants. Similar.
Nope, you're silent.
No, he's good.
Am I silent?
You're good.
Okay. All right.
You're good.
All right. So
Giants.
Giants.
Is it just me? Can you guys hear me or am I?
I can hear you.
No, you're good, Mike.
I can hear all of you. Yep.
Yeah. So for me, I'm going to start with the Giants, and my analysis is similar. Look, I think Jackson Dart has played against some good defenses, and he's looked okay. Denver's an elite defense, and Denver, like Novak pointed out earlier, is probably licking their chops to knock Scadaboo a couple times, get Dart on the ground, keep him from if he is running, making them pay for it. And I see Denver just clamping down on the Giants and having an answer for them. On the flip side, Broncos aren't great on offense. Bo Nix is overrated. And my score is very similar to your guys. I have Denver winning this game 20-19. And the Jets game, I think the Panthers are they're playing right now teams that they could beat and should beat that are pretty poor right now, and it has a lot of Carolina people happy, thinking that Carolina's a lot better than they are. However, we all know what the Jets are, and so I cannot see until if the Jets won with Tyrod Taylor in this game, I'm picking the Jets. I really
would 100% take the Jets.
Yeah, and I cannot do that because they don't do this, and guys, I don't understand this. I mean, is this really something that if you're Aaron Glenn, you're going to die on this hill on? Make the change. It does nothing to make the change. You're a terrible team right now. So I'm going with the Panthers to win pretty comfortably, 24-10. And then my lock of the week, I'm going with New England. They're playing the Titans. The Titans just did by the way, we didn't talk about this in Around the League, but Callahan got fired as the Tennessee Titans coach, first coach to be fired in midseason. I have no idea who the interim coach is. And so I'm just going with New England. Caleb Ward,
Scott,
by the way, looks as bad as possible.
I was having some headphone trouble there. I did not get your score for Carolina and the Jets.
24-10, Carolina.
Thank you.
All right. So, like I said twice now, I am Tony Montana. I love losing. Just give it to me. Just fire it at me. I can't win anything. I'm just going to lose everything. So let's start with the Giants. I love what you guys have going on. I love Jackson Dart. I love the Scadaboo thing. This defense with Burns and Lawrence and Thibodeau and Flott and all these guys flying around. I just love it. I'm just in awe of what you have all of a sudden. And that said, I also love what the Broncos did to the Jets. That defense is awesome. I don't know where to go with this, and so I want to lose. So I've got my final score: Giants 30, Broncos 30, the tie. So
Picking the tie.
with the Jets,
If you were to win a tie, I mean, does he get like bonus points, 2 points for picking
I
a tie?
want to lose, Scott. I said it. I want to lose. Just
I'll give him
it to me.
5.
So with the Jets, they have 0 chance with Justin Fields winning this game. There's going to be no fans there, and the ones that are there are going to be booing them, and they suck, and they are going to be 0-17 more than likely. So I got the Jets here 41-0 over the Panthers. And my lock of the week, I hate to fall in line with Mike and Cardone calling the Chiefs and the Raiders, but the Chiefs are on the way up, the Raiders are on the way down. Give me the Raiders.
Raiders. Got it. All right.
Novak's already
I love
he's tanking for the first pick next year.
Screw it. I don't care. Just give me the losses. Just
This is
fire it at
awesome.
me.
41s. I just want to recap. All right, for Novak there.
Yeah.
30-30 tie
Yes.
for the Broncos and the Giants, and then 41-0 the Jets over Carolina,
Correct.
and then your lock is
Is
the
the Raiders.
Las Vegas Raiders,
Raiders.
over the
the
Kansas
Chiefs.
City Chiefs.
That's correct.
Might hit all. You hit all 3, dude. You win for the year.
Yeah. That is like.
Give me the losses. I don't care.
Do you know what the
I'm
odds
a
would
loser.
be on that
I'm the
parlay?
lonesome loser. I deserve to lose. Just give it to me. Give it to me. I love it. I want more. Loss. Loser.
I want to get on DraftKings right now and play this parlay.
I'm like Costanza. I'm going to do
Jets-
the opposite.
Jets minus 40.
The tie alone helps. The tie alone's like worth a couple grand on
Yeah.
a $2 bet.
Jets minus 40. Raiders win over Chiefs and a 30-30 tie.
So for those of you in the Charlotte area, great IPO. You probably can't say it. Lightning Drops from Resident Culture. It's one of my favorites.
That's a good one.
So pet peeves, guys. I'll start because we've already trampled over what I was going to say. So I'm just going to add some context to it. So the refs in the booth. I mean, we've seen this. It is useless because all they end up being are mouthpieces for whatever they want to see out there, or whatever the popular sentiment is. They rarely will overturn a call, and if they do think a call's wrong, they go, well, it's really tough out there for these guys, and I, this one's so close. I got to stick with the call on the field, even though it's obvious to everyone sitting at home that they need to overturn this. And the reason I'm highlighting this is because if anyone watches an ACC game these days, especially on the ACC network, what they do is they go to the booth and they show the inner workings of the ACC replay system, and the guys are in there talking about the play, and they're talking it out, and they're going, all right, guys, what we have here is we see the down marker he's got to get to is the 40. The ball is at the 40.5 right there. That's a first down. Do we all agree on that? All right, let's go. And the way they talk it through, there's a lot of transparency there. The NFL, you have no idea, first off, who's buzzing down to the refs. We mentioned that about the Chiefs game. We don't know what's being said. And then once the call's made, sometimes it's not even clear on what the ref is seeing. We have no idea what's going on, and the guy in the booth adds no color to that whatsoever. No, there's no added benefit to the guy in the booth. Even when Mike Pereira criticizes the referee, he never does it enough to really move the needle at all. He might say, they missed that one, but these guys, they get 99% of them right, which we know is bullshit.
Yeah, he
It's
always
like
does.
spot on.
Pereira will question a call. Terry McCauley, he has no reason to be in that booth. He adds nothing. Pereira always does. Whenever he disagrees with one, he always caveats it, and he always says, "Listen, these guys do an awesome job, but they missed this one." Which I'm fine with that. He's probably got a lot of friends and everything in that world. So, but McCauley is worthless. Just an absolute shill for the NFL. And he always hedges his bets because he wants to see which way it's actually leaning before he just doesn't add anything. And when you got, I'll tell you this, and you guys probably think I'm slobbing this guy the last couple of weeks. You have no use for a referee in the booth if Troy Aikman is calling that game.
Troy Aikman, I was going to
Yeah.
mention that, Mike. He did a great job again calling out the referees.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's all over this, and I'm sure he's taking a lot of heat for it.
I don't know, like you said, as a fan listening, Aikman has easily, I think in all our books, ascended. He's like the top spot, man. Guys,
Yeah.
he's just good.
Yep.
Calls a great game.
Mike, pet peeve?
Yeah, my pet peeve, you guys probably know what it is because I absolutely went off about it on the text thread during the game because there was something that happened, and it was Kirk Herbstreit, who I normally really do like. But Kirk, first of all, I think the tush push, and I hope we have any gay listeners, I apologize, is the gayest thing I've ever seen in sports. Just the name of it, what they're doing during that play, it is pansy ass shit. I've talked about it earlier, and I said, leave it in. I don't care. But the point is, I just think that play is soft. I think it's a soft play. And so the Eagles run it 4 times in a row inside the 5 to 1 yard at a time, get their way to the end zone. By the way, 1 yard at a time. While they were false starting, while massive amounts of things were going on, the Giants actually held them to less than a yard gain on one of those plays. And they finally crack through the end zone. And Kirk Herbstreit says, this is just bully street ball right now. This is just the Broad Street bullies. And I went nuts on my couch. I've said there is nothing bully about this. This is soft. This is weak. This is we're afraid to line up and run a play against you guys. And I was going nuts in my house. So then we all know from there, right, how that game breaks down at the end. And how at the end of the game, we're just Cam Scatterbo punching this team in the mouth. And they want nothing. They want to get off of that field. They want to go home. Not a fucking word from Herbstreit on who's the bully now. Nothing.
Nothing.
Because if you watch the fourth
say a
quarter of
word.
that game, the Giants were absolutely bullying that team around the field in all phases. But no, the tush push is the bully ball. Get out of here with that. And when they ran them 4 times in a row, like it instantly came to my head. Someone on here mentioned it earlier. They just killed themselves. They just killed that play because that 4 times in a row is going to cause an uproar, and it's going to surface this thing. And it's Scott mentioned it earlier. There's going to be a groundswell that starts, and it started here tonight. Because they chose to do that. And I love that it was against the Giants, and I love it was in a game that we beat them. And that team can suck a bag of dicks, man. I hate that team.
Micah Parsons was all over it during the
Yep.
game. He was tweeting, I'm not watching football. I don't know what I'm watching.
Yeah.
When
it's not
that was
football.
going on.
Yeah.
Novak. Oh, go ahead, Cardone.
No, I was going to say, I'm just laughing, Mike, as you say. You're right. I can't stand when like an Al Michaels is calling it the tush push. I can't stand the name of that play. I just can't.
It's awful.
Yeah. It's just it does, man. It is nails on a blackboard, dude.
Yeah,
it really is.
And just to kind of put a bow on it, just to be clear, if we do have any homosexual listeners, I'm not saying gay as in homosexual. I'm saying gay like you would call your friends gay in 7th grade. It's not manly. I guess it's. All right, that'll be it for me, guys. I'll be camping. I'll see you later. I had a lot of fun doing this over the years with you guys.
Novak, pet peeve?
Well, mine's kind of falling in line. So, look, we do pet peeves because this is an outlet for us to really just go after things that bother us about the NFL in particular. And I've done a lot of pet peeves, as we all have over the years. And this one to me, I think it's not rock bottom. I don't know if it is. It's the summit, whatever it is. I think this is the thing that has bothered me the most about the NFL in all of my time. I think this is it. And this is the Arizona Cardinals. You are going to fine Jonathan Gannon for yelling at a player, for dropping the ball as he goes into the end zone. Are you kidding me? This guy is getting fined. Can you imagine Bill Parcells back in the day? Is this not a man's sport? The guy dropped the ball walking into the end zone, and his coach, rightfully so, got in his face. I don't care what he called him, provided it wasn't racial, whatever. I don't care what he said. He was justified in saying it. These guys are making millions of dollars. These teams are making millions of dollars to win games. And they fined him for yelling at a player for doing something completely idiotic. And when I saw this, I was like, you have got to be kidding me. And even my wife, who is like the nicest person on the planet, was like, oh, come on, really? They fined him for yelling at a guy for dropping balls. She watched the play. He was like, he was going to score a touchdown. Why did he drop the ball?
The most common sense question, of all.
So when I saw that, I was like, and I'm not going to take Cardone's word because he came up with the word. The blankification of the NFL is right there in that the pussification of the NFL. Thank you, Cardone, for creating that word. It's exactly what has happened. We're fining a coach for yelling at a player for doing the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. You said, can
Buddy,
you imagine
Buddy Ryan? Buddy
Yeah.
Ryan should have just been paying out of his pocket every fucking week.
Just a stream of money.
Imagine like coaches like Mike Ditka, Bill Parcells, Bill Cowher, Buddy
Tom
Ryan,
Coughlin, Rex
Coughlin,
Ryan,
back
anybody.
in the
Yeah.
You're
I
5
get-
minutes late to a meeting. All right, that's $20,000,
Yeah.
Coughlin.
exactly.
I mean,
had
I can't imagine them those coaches that Cardone just mentioned. I cannot imagine what they would do if that happened in a game. But I even think those guys are sitting at home on the couch watching the game and they're going
I know.
bananas. I bet Rex
Probably.
Ryan probably fucking flipped the table over in the studio somewhere.
I mean, I was getting yelled at like that in high school for basketball.
Yeah.
Of course.
Like, what are we doing? What world are we in that the NFL
Well,
coaches
what
can't yell at
rule
players?
did he break? What
He
policy?
didn't do anything wrong.
Like
Nothing.
he's allowed. Like this is my team. I'm allowed. Like if I'm the head coach of this organization, if my owner's okay with it, I could do whatever I want. Can he not?
Exactly.
Like what's the? Like, how does the NFL have like jurisdiction over that? I don't understand.
What's the alternative? Listen, I'm really hopeful that next time you go across the line, that you hold on to the ball. That would be wonderful if you did that. Like, what is he supposed to say?
But he was
I'd be
fined by
dressing
the
him down,
league,
too.
right?
Yes.
And like it. How do they determine what amount? How do they determine like what did he cross?
don't
What
know.
line did he cross?
He didn't cross a line.
Like if the owner of the Cardinals is okay with like, no, man, I told him to go do like, hey, I'll pay the fine or whatever. Like, but how does this fine get levied down from like the league? Like, it's none of your business, NFL, how I talk to my players. Why can't it be like that?
What are we doing with this fucking league? So over it.
I'll give an anecdote from my high school baseball days. We were playing Vestal, Mike, in baseball, and I was up to bat, and they had the coaches had said during the inning, they said, all right, swing at the first pitch. This guy's piping it down the middle. And I got in there, and our head coach was our third base coach too. You know, he would coach third base. And I'm up there. It's a tie game. We got runners on first and second, and the guy pipes one right down the middle. And I look at it. I just wasn't ready to swing, and all of a sudden I hear cost, and the coach had a chin like Cowher. He calls me over to the third base line. He's chewing me out like, "What the hell are you doing? I told you, swing at the first pitch." And he's going nuts, and I'm half embarrassed. I'm half pissed off. I get back in the batter's box. I think I look at 2 balls, so it's a 2-1 count. The next pitch comes, and I hit the ball over the fence for a home run. One of the few home runs I hit as a high schooler. And as I'm coming around third base, he's with his hand out there. He's like, that's the way to do it, boss. You know, like that's the way coaches coach. They yelled at you. I can't remember the number of times a coach would grab my face mask, and I only played peewee football. You know, it's like.
Go watch Buttermaker in the Bad News Bears.
Exactly.
The way he talks to Stein after Stein didn't get hit by a pitch, and he shoves Stein into the dugout after he grounded out. He was ready to pull Kelly Leak out of the game. When Leak was intentionally looking at strikes, and then he grabs him by the arm and he's like, "Just let me hit, coach." And then he hit one out to win the game. And then Leak's coming around. He's rounding third, and Buttermaker's got his hands out trying to congratulate him. And Leak's like, "Fuck off, dude!" Like, he didn't shake his hand. Sounds like your coach, Scott. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
Buttermaker.
yeah, cousin.
I'll tell a quick one. Like when I was in high school, JV, every now and then a JV player would be brought up to varsity. It didn't happen often. I was a sophomore. I got brought up only because I was fast. No other reason. I stunk otherwise. So I got brought up. I pinch ran. So I get on first base and I take my lead and I'm looking around, I'm like, I'm in a varsity fucking game. I'm the best. Next thing I know, I feel the arm on the side. I got picked off. I wasn't even paying attention. Cardone might remember this guy, Al Coistra. Remember this guy? I don't know if you remember.
What's the last name?
He was Coistra.
I don't think so.
I walk off the thing. I'm dejected as can be. And he goes, I hope you fucking enjoyed playing varsity because you're never going to see this fucking field again, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
And I was like 15 years old.
Yeah.
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 This is great, Novak. I got a Middletown South one too. Like I didn't play football until like my junior year. So like I wasn't like huge high school. We had no cut policy. It was like 100 guys. So like you had to beat out like 30 guys to get on the field. And I remember in practice one day, I was playing wide receiver and I do like a slant, like I do like a 15-yard down and in. And I go up for the ball. And I get laid out by Odie Pritzloff. You remember him?
Oh, yes,
Novak, big
Gymnast.
dude, hard hitter, like he was playing safety, whatever.
Yeah.
And I get laid out. Keith Camafaro, our head coach, says to me, he's like, Cardone, he goes, you deserve that to happen to you. He goes, I'm like, I got the cobwebs. I come up all dizzy, and I jog back to this line, and he's barking at me. Not even I was probably concussed. One thing. This is back in the 19. Again, this is 100 years ago, like back in the day, where you're like, this was high school football, and the guy's telling me you deserve that hit.
Oh, yeah.
And then he tried to make me feel better. He's like, Cardone. He goes, I timed you in the 40. He goes, I know you're not fucking running full speed. He goes, I could tell, and I wasn't. And the coach called me out. Like he did. I was doing a hit because I was thinking I was end of the long practice. I'm not going to see the field come game day anyway. And I'm like, the fuck am I doing out here? Like it's just. And I was running a half-ass pattern. I got laid out, and the coach called me out for it. He's like, you deserve that hit.
They didn't bring the smelling salts out for you?
Nothing.
Odie was a big dude. So
He was,
probably,
man.
Yeah.
Hard hitter. Yeah, I got laid out, but anyway,
Cardone-
those are the great old days. So mine's a random pet peeve. You can pick any game, so usually it's at the end of the game when it drives me crazy at the end of a game where usually it's like a running back where he fumbles the ball in a one-score game, and now the other team has the ball and coming back down the field to either tie or take the lead and win the game. This is usually like at the end of the game, and every freaking play. After the guy fumbles, he's feeling bad about it. He's sitting on the bench. Now what happens is, as the other team now is marching down 90 yards for the game-winning touchdown, every first down, every completed pass, we got to get a fucking camera shot of the guy who just fumbled on the sideline with the towel over his head usually or something, or he's marching up and down the sideline. Usually he's just sitting there, right? Just praying that the team doesn't score. Why? Why do we have to get the camera shot of the guy? You guys know what I'm talking about. Every time, watch for it the next time. The next time a guy has a key fumble, and like I said, it's usually it could be a receiver, but usually it's a fumble. It's the running back who just inadvertently fumbles the ball. And you watch the next time as the team's marching back down the field, we have to get an isolation camera of this guy. You guys know how I feel about the ISO cams. I hate everything. I love to hate the stuff I love. There's like 94% of this stuff that goes on in a game that I despise. That one drives me crazy. I can't even give you an example of which one it was. I saw it the other day, and I'm like, there it is. Like pick any game. Like pick any game because it's going to happen again this Sunday or Saturday during college football. It doesn't matter what the situation is. It drives me nuts, guys. That's a pet peeve of mine when we have to get the camera shot of the guy after he fumbled and the other team comes down. And then if the team doesn't score and then they still and the team wins the game, you'll have the jack off announcer like, oh, no one's more relieved than Johnson Rod right there for that. Like his team. Yes, we know. Yeah, nobody's more relieved than Johnson Rod, who he's the guy who caught. It drives me nuts. All of it drives me nuts, guys.
So cliche, and that's spot on. Like you don't even need an example. We all know exactly what you're talking about. It happens all the time.
You've seen it a million times.
And kind of to tie it back to Novak's is if a coach can get fined for, I guess he sort of was fined for humiliating the player, right? I guess that's what he was. So it shouldn't the network be fined for the camera on the guy who just fumbled? They're kind of doing the same thing,
mocking him.
Yeah.
I love too, like if that happens, Cardone, and there's a field goal at the end of the game and the field goal kicker misses it, sure enough, the camera pans to the guy who made the fumble, like with his fist up in the air,
Always.
like woohoo!
Or a lot of times, Scott, he's not even celebrating because he feels like he's still, he still gave everyone anxiety, on his teammates and coaches. So a lot of times it's his teammates that are coming over and like patting the guy and shaking him like, we won, it's okay. And the guy's still kind of pissed off. He still has the puss on his face.
Here's a great sort of memory / trivia question for you. I remember in my head the first time I noticed that. It was in a very high-profile game. I don't know if you guys remember which one it was. It was Ernest Biner when he fumbled going in to win the game for Cleveland.
Denver.
That
Cleveland.
camera was on him every time it wasn't on John Elway for the rest of that drive. They showed him sitting there with his head in his hands.
Yeah.
Like 7 times during the drive. Yep.
Brutal.
So we have
totally remember that.
Ton of questions tonight. Coons actually reset a question because of our technical difficulties, but I liked his other 2 questions, so we're going to do all of Coons' questions this week. So his first one was, if we could have any defensive coordinator of all time, who would it be and why? And for me, the Giants had that guy as a defensive coordinator. We know what he's like as a college head coach, which is not so great right now, but Bill Belichick. And I would take him because he schemed against some of the best offenses and players I had seen in the 80s.
Yeah, I mean, just you look at the things that he schemed against the 90 Buffalo Bills, against the Rams, the greatest show on turf when he won his first one with New England. The guy's remarkable. And if you add the Super Bowls he won as a coordinator to the ones he's, the 7 or whatever it is he's won as a coach. I mean, I don't think there's another defensive coordinator of all time that I could even think of that would even be close.
Yeah, Belichick immediately came to my mind, most notably for the 90 for the Super Bowl, for the game against the Bills. And then if I had to go current day, I love Spags. I mean, we had Spags, in our Super Bowl 42. And he's still doing a fantastic job for the Chiefs. Yes. I would take Spags.
You guys aren't going to like this answer from me, but I would take Buddy Ryan, only because he brought a little bit of anger and fight that I wish the Jets had. His
the 46 defense of the Bears in '85. No, Novak. He was in my head. No, Buddy Ryan was in my head.
I despised Buddy Ryan as the head coach of the Eagles, but I respected him as a defensive coordinator.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
The league could use more of that sort of mentality, especially when it comes to defensive coordinators.
Yeah.
Enough of these cheerleaders like Robert Saleh. I would go back to those days.
Oh, he's putting bounties on kickers and stuff back in the day.
Yeah. It was awesome.
Come on, bring it back.
Amazing.
Let's just get back to it.
And of course, Novak couldn't say Belichick anyway, so he had to come up with another one.
I could not, no. I could not.
Not be possible. Buddy Ryan's a great answer.
So Coons also asks your top 5 bands and songs of all time. We're constrained on time.
He told me already that he was a little bit. He was a little drunk when he asked those questions.
We don't have
let's just go to the favorite bands. I think
I was gonna say your favorite band and favorite song. That's all you need to do.
I'll go first just because I knew this question was coming. So I'm going to say Led Zeppelin is clearly my favorite band of all time. It's not even close. And so because of that, I'll say my favorite song is Ramble On.
Good stuff.
Does the band and song have to be the same? It doesn't have to be the same band. It can be different, right?
No.
I mean, I'm an 80s alternative freak. So going after Novak there, he just named a real man's band, you know what I mean? Hard rock and classic rock. I like kind of like the INXS and the 80s, alternative stuff. So, Michael Hutchence to me is the best looking dude I've ever seen, ever. So INXS, I always love their stuff. And but if I had to listen to one song, probably be like Message in a Bottle by the Police. If I had to listen to one song the rest of my life, that's the one. Love everything about that song.
Yeah.
I could have had a very, very bad joke about Michael Hutchins, but when I think of the '80s, I just think of like Chumbawamba and people like that, So it's like, my favorite song is going to Novak's band, and that's "Stairway to Heaven," which is a Led Zeppelin song. But favorite band, there's a lot out there. I've gone from band to band where I like bands. I like Journey a lot. I like I like Foreigner. I like I hate to say this for the Jersey people. I like Bon Jovi.
I like Bon Jovi. Yeah.
There's a lot there. I don't know who I could pin down as my favorite band. But if I had to go with one, I might go with like an oddball choice and like Motley Crue or something like that. I don't know.
No,
Toto?
It's got to be Toto. They got to be on the list.
Toto.
Every draft.
Every draft, Scott is pulling out the yacht rock.
I'm kind of like Scott in that I bounce around, but I always come back to the same 5 bands, and I've recognized this before, so I have them right on the tip of my tongue. I always come back to the Grateful Dead, Pink Floyd, Steely Dan, the Beatles, and Billy Joel. I'm always in a loop where I'm listening.
Well, wait a minute.
To
if you say Billy Joel, I was thinking of like single artists there.
Okay, well, I'll take him off then. But so I would right now I would say that and for quite a while actually my favorite band has been the Grateful Dead. But there's a song by Steely Dan called Kid Charlemagne that is probably my favorite song. I love that song. Yeah,
great song. Oh, Donald Fagen is still a fucking prick.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
They're pricks, no doubt.
So Coots' last question is he wanted to know how many great teams are in the NFL, how many good teams, how many maybe good teams, and how many trash teams. And I was getting to this a little bit earlier when I was talking about the AFC. If you look at the AFC has, the Bills, we'll call them the Chiefs right now, because the Chiefs, we know the manipulation that'll go there.
You are. Who's your?
I wouldn't want to play the Chiefs right now. Playoffs.
There's a couple of top heavy teams in the AFC, and other than that, the rest of them right now are bottom feeders. And you're looking at a lot of bad teams in the AFC. I don't know if I'd go for elite teams. I'd name a couple here, and I think Novak named them earlier. But I would say the Bills are an elite team. I'd say the Eagles are on the cusp, but they're probably still there right now. The Buccaneers, surprisingly, are turning into one of those teams right now. So trash teams, the trash teams are probably half the league, including the Giants and Jets.
Not the Giants anymore.
The Giants are the trash team until they prove otherwise.
Yeah, I think they have. I think they're on the rise. So for my answer to that is, look, we're not going to see. I don't think there's a great team in the league right now. I don't think there's one. However, like I said before, lurking in the shadows is the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep.
And as much as I hate to say it, I called them that they were going to be the best team in the league, and they're going to go to the Super Bowl again. And I think they are on the way up. And I hate it, but they are. Trash teams, Jets and the Titans are the 2 worst teams in the league. The Browns may be right there too. But yeah, everyone else is middling. This is another bad year in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't think there's
seen
great
the schedule
teams
this week, Novak?
Yeah, it's awful again. I mean,
League sucks.
Terrible.
League
Guys,
sucks.
I don't know if you guys have watched any of Tennessee. I watched them a couple of weeks now.
They're terrible.
And there are people saying, don't sleep on Cam Ward. He's a really good quarterback.
No.
I watched Cam Ward play quarterback, and I'm thinking to myself, even if your team's this bad, how could you look this bad?
He's a bust written all over him.
I can't think of another quarterback that came out that looked this bad that was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Peyton.
I don't think Peyton Manning looked that bad. Peyton Manning had bad stats, but he threw a great ball. He did a lot of good things, Yeah. Cam Ward, I don't see anything positive there. I don't see great balls being thrown. I see poor decisions. It's just one of those things where we talked about in the preseason. No one was talking about Cam Ward. There was more attention on Drew Sanders,
Yeah.
Are they the most invisible franchise in the NFL? Tennessee Titans.
I didn't even know they fired their coach until I was prepping for the pod.
Yeah, I mean, maybe in all 4 major sports. I mean, I forget they are in existence.
Yeah, they're invisible. I haven't heard anything about Cam Ward. I haven't even seen highlights of the Titans. It's almost as if the NFL replay when on Sunday evenings it's like they don't even run their highlights. I'm sure they're playing an AFC South team this weekend. Have we seen that? I got to see the schedule.
They are not.
You
I
had to
checked.
say that day.
Oh, really?
They're not.
So, well, I know the Titans are playing New England because that's why I picked New England in the
Colts the Colts are playing Los Angeles and Jacksonville. Oh my gosh, it's a week without an AFC.
It's a week.
Are you kidding me? That's a little depressing. Who's Jacksonville play on? Because Houston plays Seattle. So yeah, there's no AFC South games this week.
Jacksonville is against the Rams.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's more trash than there are good teams.
Maybe it's the Chargers. Maybe it's the Chargers.
Yeah, I think it's fun though. I think it's fun that right now,
it's the Rams.
The two best teams in the AFC and NFC are the Colts and the Buccaneers. Like, who had that on their bingo card, right? That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Throw the Steelers in there too. But.
No undefeated teams. One winless team, right?
That's it.
That's right. Go Jets.
Oh wait. Have the Titans won?
Yeah, they beat the Cardinals in that crazy game.
Right.
The most improbable win I've ever seen.
That's right.
Tankathon, Jets are number 1.
So, my friend Mike has a couple questions, and this is for the Jets. With the Jets game so close, did you want to see Tyrod in there? And should the Jets trade up, or should the Jets trade their top players to get picks in round 2 through 4 in this upcoming window?
I won't go in a great rant here, but yes and yes, I wanted to see Tyrod. He should have played in the second quarter, and I thought for sure he'd come out in the third quarter, and he did not. Yes, they should trade away anyone. Anyone is up for grabs, in my opinion, except for Garrett Wilson, our 2 tackles. Anyone else, take them. You want them? We'll trade them. That's the way I would do it. And I'm going to throw this out there. I loved this kid from Indiana, Mendoza, and the reason I like him is that he's not what all the teams now want, which he doesn't wear any eye black, right? He doesn't have to wear a gold chain and have a hot mom. He's just a normal guy that throws touchdowns, and like he reminds me of Jared Goff, and I like the way he plays. That's what the Jets need. They don't mimic the Giants. Don't try and go to your scouting team and say, go get a guy that wears eye black and a 5'10" white wrecking ball. That's what for running back. That's what we need to change culture. No, be your own. Go get this guy.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking earlier about it being a little creepy, some of the things that we've seen going on. But to me, what's really creepy, have you seen the quarterback for Nebraska? He tries to be Mahomes. He
has a mental illness. He has a mental illness, and he needs to be in an institution. He doesn't need to be playing football. Have you guys seen this guy?
No, I have not.
He's got a haircut like Mahomes. He comes out dancing like Mahomes. Yeah. Like,
does he do that thing with his hand? You know, like Mahomes does that. He
has the wristbands, the headband, the exact same haircut. It is. His last name is like Raiola.
Oh yes, I know this guy. Yes, I know who you're talking about.
I gotta check it out.
It's unbelievable, and I remember seeing him last year and kind of laughing about it, and then they actually played Michigan earlier this year, and I was like watching that game, going, "This is like really kind of creepy."
Mm-hmm. When Mike was talking about Dable being creepy around Dart, it's 10 times that with this guy.
It's bad. It's really weird.
Yeah.
Damon Raiola, something like that.
No, it's pretty bad. I hope one of you guys know the answer here because he didn't provide the answer. But Mike asks, do you know who Little Jordan Humphrey is named for?
I don't know.
Isn't it Michael Jordan?
I would think it's Michael Jordan. Think. But I don't know. I really it's Bobby Humphrey. I don't.
It's Lil Jordan. I mean, what? Who else is it going to be?
It's a little on the nose, right, Dad? I want my kid to be Jordan.
Isn't there like a Jordan singer who's in like jail or something? Is it him?
I don't know if there's
I don't know the answer.
Chris Brown in jail, maybe.
No, I don't
know. So I don't know the answer to that. That was a question. I was hoping you guys could help out. Then his last question is, why is Al Michaels at 80 still calling games? Can't we find anyone else? I've been on the bandwagon about Al Michaels for a couple years now. I'll tell you this. He actually didn't seem that bad this week. He is getting older. There's got to be new blood, but Al Michaels actually he was doing fine in my book, and we're going to get to that in a second about some of the other announcers that we want to hear. But Al Michaels isn't one of my favorite announcers, but he didn't bug me in this game.
He was fine. I don't dislike Al Michaels this week.
I have no problem with Al Michaels. I didn't realize he was 80, and if that's the case, he probably should move on. But I don't. He seems fine.
I got
to me.
a bigger problem with Collinsworth and
Yeah.
So
he's the worst.
Yeah, I think that's part of the problem is Collinsworth never shuts up. So Michael's kind of almost goes unnoticed a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yep. When Al Michaels talks about betting, I don't mind that. When Chris Collinsworth, as soon as I hear listen, my hackles get up because he's going to tell you something that either you already know or you know is false, but he's going to tell you it's true.
Yep.
So I don't listen. When Jack Collinsworth starts talking, I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, he deserved that job.
Yeah, Jack, he's doing great.
Yeah.
So Peacock Corner is here. Novak.
Yeah.
Why fake a punt to run out the clock? Make it make sense. You already touched upon this, but
I touched upon it. Doesn't make any sense. If you're gonna fake a punt, you go for it instead of sitting on the ball and doing the worst end of a half I've ever seen in my life. Peacock, I have no answer. I don't know what they're doing. No one does. Garrett Wilson obviously didn't know. The commentators are mocking them. I'm mocking them. People are mocking them. I don't care. Whatever.
I don't know what will happen with Aaron Glenn, but the first thing I thought of when I saw that was Joe Judge and the Giants when they lined up in the victory formation from inside their own 5.
And ran the 2 quarterback sneaks.
And ran the 2 quarterback sneaks. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. I'm like,
that was about your low. Your low point, I think, was right there. I really do. This might have been ours.
Yeah. Peacock also asks, and we touched upon this earlier, can the Giants make the playoffs? I was talking about this earlier with the AFC. The AFC is very up for grabs. The NFC, guys, look at the standings. If the Giants don't win the NFC East, which is the tough haul, there's a really bad path to make it as a wild card because so many teams are doing well. The entire NFC North is above 500. The NFC South has a few teams there. The NFC West has a few teams there. I don't see how the Giants could possibly get in the playoffs unless they somehow get hot, run the table, the Eagles implode, and they win the division.
I'm going to give a firm no because if you look right now, there's 16 teams in the NFC, right? That's obvious. And the Giants are sitting in 15th place out of 16. I'm looking at the standings right here in front of me. So they're 15th out of 16. So they don't have a chance to make the playoffs because there's just too many losses still to be had. They got still games that they have no business winning. There's no chance of making the playoffs this year. None.
I agree. I picked the Giants preseason to win 3 games. I might have been 2. I don't remember, but that's what I thought of this team against this schedule. I now think they could win as many as 7 games, based on what I've seen and looking ahead a little bit. But I still don't think that's playoff. Not this year. We'll be around.
Yeah,
I'm going to disagree. I think the Giants have an actual chance. I really do. This division is nowhere near what we thought. I think the Eagles are on a downward slide. I think the Cowboys are shit. And I think the Commanders, obviously, they lost to the Bears. I think the Giants have a distinct chance. I'm not saying they're going to, but I think they have a chance to actually win the division. I think they have a better chance to win the division than they do be a wild card.
Yeah,
I agree
that's
with
the only
that.
path. Yeah,
I agree with that.
And
the
talk
next
to
2
me
weeks
again
are
after
critical.
we beat the Eagles. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, the next 2 weeks are critical. We have to beat the Broncos and the Eagles.
No, I don't think you do. I think you need to win 1 of 2 of these 2 games. If you win 1 of 2 and then you're 3-5, your schedule opens up a little bit. But I think the big thing is going to be what you do at the trade deadline. You got to surround Dart with someone. You got to give him someone other than Wan'Dale Robinson and a bunch of losers. So I think if they do that, look out. I think the Giants are on the way up.
We got a little Jordan Humphrey now.
Oh, come on, get out of here with that.
I'll say this though, just about little Jordan, real quick.
He
Another
played
indictment.
well.
Another indictment on Dable, if you ask me. This guy's on the practice squad last week when we can't field receivers, and he comes out and he makes contested catches. And not only that, he's blocking downfield. I mean, he had huge blocks on some of the Scatterboo runs. Dable, what is your talent evaluation? Where is it?
Yeah.
And
Jalen Hyatt. Yeah.
Jalen Hyatt running around out there, for crying out loud.
Exactly. Jalen Hyatt had 3 catches. He had 2 drops, and by the way, the pass interference on him in the end zone I thought was bullshit.
Complete garbage.
Yeah. And I won't complain about that because there were a couple bad calls that didn't go our way, but that was a gimme call. That was a bailout for the Giants that we don't see ever happen.
Yeah. A lot of things we never see happen in that game.
and guys, another thing we've talked about all year long, that penalty put the ball at the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
Pass interference in the end zone. Yeah. Peacock also asks, any 2 announcers to listen to for the Giants and Jets games? This is where I was talking about, we'd get into some of the announcers. If we go back in time, I'd listen to Summerall and Madden. But if we can't, I'm going off the grid here. I'm going to a radio team. I'm going to listen to a Banks and Papa telecast for a Giant game. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, my favorite announcer of all time is not close is Don Criqui.
Criqui.
And Don Criqui used to do Jet games all the time in the 80s. He was my absolute favorite. I would love for him to come back and do. I think he's still alive. I don't know. Maybe
he had his distinct voice. Yeah,
he did. I loved Don Criqui. That was my favorite.
Yeah, I don't know if I have a favorite now. I mean, I like Kevin Harlan.
I like Aikman.
Right now. I mean, Harlan. I think I like his energy. I could listen to him. In fact, he called the Giants Chargers game, I believe, a couple weeks ago.
Don Criqui is 85 years old, still alive.
85.
Bring him out. Said, Al Michaels.
I'm like I said, I'm the loser. Give me Spiro Ditas and Jonathan Vilma. That's what I want. Give it to me.
Spiro Ditas. And Jonathan Vilma.
Uncharacteristic
drop by Ingram.
Yeah.
One of the things we didn't talk about this week is that we are facing Evan Ingram again. He's a Bronco.
Yes.
Right. He's all over the field too. Dude's a matchup nightmare for real now.
He'll find the end zone. He'll be tiptoeing backwards. Mike, we'll lose Evan Ingram in coverage at the 2-yard line. He'll be tiptoeing in backwards.
Yep, he'll be a matchup nightmare for us. Well, you see the coaches over there slamming their headphone down. How do we cover this guy?
You guys got anything else tonight?
I got one little comment, and maybe it's more suited for earlier in a podcast some other time, but is anybody just kind of noticing that every game ends with a walk-off field goal now? Is anyone catching that?
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
I was going to mention it. Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
Every single game ends with a walk-off field goal now. And I do think there's some of that too. Coaches have finally learned, which I do think is the correct strategy, to take your timeouts closer to the 2-minute warning than, wait until it's 30 seconds left to start taking them. So I think that when you do that and you don't get the stop, then the other team can milk the clock down to 0, kick it, and get out of there. So I do think some of it's to that. You can't help when you see a trend or pattern like this, though, to think there's some orchestration. Not in deciding who wins and loses, nothing like that. Just a desire to keep the games close, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, I have one follow-up thing, and I don't want to go too in depth on this, but we were asking your friend Dolph, whose last name was Dolph, so we get that. But we were asking what Dolph is short for. There's two nicknames for Dolph. One is Adolf with a PH, not an F, and the other is Randolph. So there is a Dolph that could be shortened for those two ones.
Yeah. I could see if your name is Adolf wanting to shorten that one down a little bit. I get.
Yeah.
I get that.
I would think Randolph, you'd go towards Randy, but
you head toward Randy. Yeah.
Golf has made it on 3 straight pods. What are we doing?
We're obsessed with Dolph.
What are we doing?
All right, guys. We'll be back next week. Hopefully, we'll be back on our schedule on Monday. We'll see. But barring technical difficulties, we will recap the Giants and the Denver game and the Jets playing the Carolina Panthers. So we thank you for your patronage. This is the Three Angry Giant Fans and the Jet Fan. Till next week.
See you.
Adios.
Yeah.